A father leaves for work. His 6-year-old son gets into his closet, plays with a loaded gun, and kills his sister. A licensed gun owner gives his gun to a friend who has a fight with his wife. The fight escalates. He grabs the gun and she dies. An owner of a gun needs money and sells his gun without leaving any records. A gun owner leaves his firearm in an unlocked vehicle. A gun-owning couple doesn't secure their firearms at home. These firearms are stolen or end up in the hands of criminals who use them to rob and kill. A U.S. Department of Justice statistics report found that 1.4 million firearms were stolen across the country from 2005 to 2010. It also found that the vast majority, at least 80%, were never recovered. All of these gun owners are responsible for how their guns were misused. Gun ownership is a right protected by the Second Amendment. However, that right comes with responsibilities. The first step of a responsible gun ownership is knowing why the gun is needed and who will be using that weapon. Accountable firearm owners should be aware of the laws that their community resides in. Some cities and states require special licenses to carry or own a firearm. Knowing these laws keep law-abiding citizens safe and out of trouble with law enforcement officers. Many states require education prior to even issuing a gun permit. An educated gun owner reduces accidents and creates responsible firearm ownership. The second step of responsible gun ownership is the proper purchase of a gun. A purchaser, when at all possible, should purchase from a firearms dealer who has a federal firearms license. Purchasing a firearm from an unknown source at a flea market or a Craigslist ad comes with many risks. The buyer should be asking these questions. Who is this person? Was this gun stolen? Was the gun used in a criminal act? Will this gun function when I go to shoot it? Why am I getting a bargain price? Where did the seller get this gun? Did he purchase it legally? If you're still determined to purchase a gun from an individual, you should go to a local law enforcement agency, have the serial number of the gun checked for theft. A legal bill of sale should be completed with the seller's information, including identification information, address, and a contact phone number. After becoming a gun owner, you should know all the mechanics and the safest way to operate your gun. This means knowing the gun's mechanisms and practicing a lot. Responsible ownership of a firearm includes responsible storage. Some devices available to prevent firearms from unapproved use are trigger locks, which prevent the gun from being loaded or fired by an unauthorized user, cable locks, which block the action of the firearm and prevent rifles and shotguns from being closed, locking gun cases, which prevent access and damage to a firearm. Locking strong boxes and security cases are an option to provide firearm owners with anti-theft capability. Steel gun cabinets and gun safes represent the most secure firearm storage. Lastly, if you are a gun owner selling a firearm, you should consider the responsibility and the liability. When a buyer and a seller reside in different states, a person with a federal firearms license must be the recipient of the shipped firearm. All firearms shipped require a declaration of contents. Additional requirements can be found on the website for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. A father leaves for work. His 6-year-old son gets into his closet. He cannot play with his father's gun because it's in a locked strongbox. A licensed gun owner does not give his gun to a friend because he knows his friend has a temper. The friend has an escalated fight with his wife and she survives. A gun owner needs money and he sells his gun to a licensed gun shop who records the sale. A gun owner carries his firearm in from his car and secures it. A gun-owning couple safeguards their firearms at home in a gun safe. None of these firearms are misused, stolen, or end up in the hands of criminals. All of these gun owners are responsible for their guns. Gun ownership is a right protected by the Second Amendment. However, that right comes with responsibilities. Thank you.